Lots of talk recently on the market pullback and whether or not it will be a buying opportunity. It's just a matter of when. We're going to give you guys in this video a few ideas to add to your shopping list. Guys, let's go. Jump right into your top 3, I guess we'll call it, shopping ideas to come here.
So look,
wait a minute, top 3 each?
Well, I'll do it very quickly. I mean, but the first one is going to be, it's a little bit of ways away, and I'm not sure you can do it just yet. They just had earnings, and that's going to be Salesforce. It's still 50 times earnings, and it's expensive. But for the long term, I definitely love what the company's doing, and I don't think there's any problem with the report. I just think it sold off in the morning because it was still pricey. The market had some trouble and pullback, and thank goodness there was the bounce that we had because of the Fed. But I think it was mostly due to that Fed and bouncing off 200. I think once you take out on the daily that 200 level, it's just you just start buying on the way down. And when it gets to about 30 on a PE, that's when it's like a jam session. But the other one I wanted to throw in here was that we talked about Ford. But General Motors, right? Like, it's single digits PE, and if you're going to make a shot on the EV names, I just feel at least you have the cover of it not being overly expensive right now. Unlike Ford, they want to go fully electric faster, and they're not making incremental steps in some regard. So I think they can be riskier than Ford in a lot of ways, but they also have more room to run at this particular point, and you're getting it both at a good value and at a pretty decent price on the pullback. So that's a place I think you can obviously start nibbling into something like a Ford. And if I have to quickly just do the last one, and this is going, look, I'm going to say semis all day long. And there's probably nothing wrong with nibbling in a lot of names here but we just had the address by Biden, and he talked about building back home and making sure the production is going to be in the U.S. And he mentioned specifically Intel, and it's now back down at prices where, okay, well, if you believe in their turnaround, you're going to have to wait a couple of years for the fab play. But overall, if you want to get into these names, this is already at a pretty attractive price. And again, if the market's going to continue to pull back, you're getting one that's not at a super high multiple. So it's a good time to start digging into it. Of course, I'm going to love AMD and Marvell at valuations as they come down. But right now, Intel's at an attractive one.
All right, so I'll just do my first one, and it's the play of 2021 that we gave you guys. I'm going to give it again. It's not Fisker. That's going to be another one, but so there it is. Spoiled that. It should have changed it over. It's going to be the SMH, right? So it's very similar to what Neil just said. I feel like the semis have been beat down a little bit here. I like the SMH. You can also go for the SOX as well. I'm looking for the daily chart here, and when I get that, then I'll show you, but here it is right here. So I just, we're well below now the 50-period moving average here on the SMH. And again, who's involved in this? All those names, NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, everybody's in there. We're below the 200 period, and I feel like we've made a base. So we're talking about going shopping. If you get this thing anywhere below 250, I think it's wise to maybe start now, but then anything below 250 or around 250 is great for a move back up. I think we at least take out the 50 period. So if you do that, that's like $30 on 270, so you're looking at about 10% move up at least, I think, in the SMH. So hey, you can grab 10% this year. I think you're doing pretty good, and I think that's at the absolutely bare minimum. You just caught me on my next play, and that's going to be Fisker. And again, do I think that some EV names are good plays right now? Yeah, why not? I mean, we're going to have to get through inflation. We're going to have to get through some of these rate hikes, and we're going to have to get through lack of profitability. But, once we're through there, I feel like they're on target. They're supposed to be on target for November. As long as they don't do a Rivian did and start upping the prices, their Fisker Ocean is supposed to be really, well priced. Another name to get into here, Fisker. We do know that the Pope, we kept talking about this. He's going to be rolling around in the Pope mobile, which is going to be Fisker. That's nice. And then EV, always good talk about EV. And right now too, they're getting suppressed a little bit because of China and Russia. There's a lot of product, obviously, to make these batteries that come out of that region. So right now, I think Fisker anywhere, south of 12, like 11s, things like that. And I'm just giving you names where I believe the word nibble can start now. So I think you could start now with Fisker. And then if you're back down into the 10 to 12 area, that's also great. And then honestly, because we're talking about, what you can do with a portfolio, I always say own, don't trade. Apple, and I know that's a Jim Cramer thing as well, and I don't think he's wrong. I mean, I just think that Apple will continue to work any kind of movement back down into 150, 152, this 200 period right down here. What a golden buy these opportunities are. 156, 157, 158. Look, part of the reason why PayPal, Square, all these guys have been getting hit is because Apple owns everything. And like when you open up a website, Best Buy, for example, the Apple Pay logo is right there. Apple has their hands in everything. They're selling more phones than ever. They're selling more watches than ever. They have a bunch of new products. The iPhone 13, the largest selling phone in China right now. Look, I just think that Apple continues to work in any environment. And if you get the pullback, the drawdown in the NASDAQ, you want to be a buyer of Apple's, plain and simple. So I think that's an easy one, and it is what it is. But I hate saying it is what it is, but with Apple, it is what it is. Brendan.
It is what it is, and it's always good, typically, for Apple. Let's go to the Homebuilders group, because I want to talk about a couple that have been just selling off the entire start of this year. We'll start with DHI. I'll give you the two biggest ones. January was up here, 108. We've come all the way down to 76.5, but put in a pretty decent bounce already, back to 85. Yes, higher interest rates may mean that less people are looking to buy homes, but this is also something that is not going to go away and is possibly priced in. Here's the other one, LEN, a nice bounce off of 80 already, back to 91. Very clear, defined levels, long term. These are dividend stocks that will sit nicely in your portfolio for the long term. So there we go. I think that was, top 6 maybe ideas to put on your shopping list going forward, guys. Seven. There we go. Great idea.